Staten Island is the southernmost borough of New York City. It is the also Richmond County. It is at the southernmost point of New York. The borough is separated from New Jersey by the Arthur Kill and Kill Van Cool. It is also separated from the rest of New York by New York Bay, with a population of 495,747 in the 2020 census. Staten Island is the populated New York City borough. It is the largest land area, is about 58.5 square miles. It is also densely populated and most suburban borough in the city. A lot of people call Staten Island the forgotten borough. They feel neglected by the city government. On the other hand, it is also called the Borough of Parks. It is because of its 12,300 acres of protected parkland and over 170 parks. The North Shore has the urban area. The neighborhoods of St. George, Tompkinsville, Clifton, and Stapleton are there. The St. George Historic District and the St. Paul's Avenue Stapen Heights Historic District are also on the North Shore. The East Shore has a mile FDR boardwalk. It is the world's longest boardwalk. The South Shore developed rapidly in the 1960s and 1970s. It is now very suburban. The West Shore is the island's populated and most industrial part. You can reach Staten Island from Brooklyn by the narrow bridge. You can also reach it from the New Jersey by the Outbridge crossing, Gotham Bridge, and the Bay 1 Bridge. Staten Island has Metropolitan Transportation Authority (MTA) bus line. It also has an MTA rapid transit line, the Staten Island Railway. The Staten Island Railway runs from ferry terminal at St. George to Tottenville. Staten Island is the borough not connected to the New York City subway system. The free Staten Island ferry connects the borough to the Manhattan across the New York Harbor. A time ago, people lived on Staten Island after the Wisconsin glaciation. Archaeologists found tool evidence of Clovis culture activity dating from about 14,000 years ago. This evidence was first discovered in 1970 in the Charleston section of the island. The island was probably abandoned later. This might have been because of the extirpations of the Mormons on the island. Evidence of the permanent Native American settlements and the agriculture are thought to date from about 5,000 years ago. The Lenape indigenous people lived on Staten Island. They call Staten Island Ikuagua Manakong. This means as far as place of the Badus. They also called it Aguas. This means the word. The Lenape did not The Lenape did not live in fixed encampments. The movement seasonally used slash and burn agriculture. Shellfish was a staple of their diet. This includes the stone oyster. The first recorded European contact on the island was 1524 by the Italian explorer Giovanni the Bajrano. He sailed through the Narrows on the Shibla for one night. The Dutch did not establish a settlement on Staten Island for many decades. The name Staten Island derived from the Staten General. This is the Parliament of the Republic of the Seven United Netherlands. In 1661, the first permanent Dutch settlement was established at Woodrop. This was by a group of Dutch colonial and the French Ugar families. Staten Island was not separated. The bloodshed that culminated in the Kept War. In the summer of 1641 and in 1642, American tribes laid waste to Old Town. On July 10, 1657, Native Americans signed a deed to Libertas Bending Clays. This was for the purchase of all lands on Staten Island. However, this deed was annulled when the Dutch purchase failed to deliver promised goods for the lands and months later. At the end of the Second Dutch War in 1667, the Dutch ceded New Netherlands to England. The Dutch Staten Island, Anglicized Staten Island, became the part of the English colony of New York. In 1670, the Native Americans ceded all claims to Staten Island to the English. They did this in a deed to government practices levies. In 1671, in order to encourage an expansion of the settlement to the English reserved Odi drop, they expand the lots along the shore to the south. These lots were settled by the Dutch families. They became known as the New Drop, which later became the enlarged as New Drop. Captain Christopher Below came to the America in 1674. He settled on Staten Island, was granted a patent for 932 acres of land. There is a story of Captain Below's ship secured Staten Island to the New York. However, this story is likely untrue. In 1682, the colony of New York was divided into 10 counties. Staten Island will, as several minor neighboring islands, as designed as Richmond County. In 1687 and 1688, the English divided the island into 4 divisions. These divisions were based on features. This division later evolved into 4 towns of Castleton, Northfield, Southernfield, and Westfield. New York City's government is in charge of things on Staten Island. They take care of schools, prisons, libraries, police, parks, cleaning, water, and helping people in need. In 1898, New York City became one city. At the time, they created the office of Borough Presidents. This person was very important because they helped make decisions about the city's budget and how to use land. The Borough President used to have a lot of power. They got to vote on decisions. Then the Supreme Court said that was not fair. They said it was not fair that Staten Island, which is a borough, had the same way as a big boroughs like Brooklyn. The current borough president of Staten Island is the Vito Pozzella. He is a Republican. He was elected in 2021. He is the Republican borough president in the New York City. Staten Island is different from the rest of the New York City. The other boroughs are mostly Democratic. Staten Island is more conservative. It is borough where Republicans usually win. Many people on Staten Island are registered Republicans. They hold local offices. The island is also home to people who are against the government. The main difference between people on Staten Island is the Staten Island Expressway. People who live north of it tend to be more liberal. People who live south of it tend to be more conservative. In elections, Staten Island usually votes for Republican. They have only voted for Democrats at times since 1940. Staten Island is the part of New York Congressional District. It is represented by Republican Nicole. She was elected in 2020.